An Evening at the Movies is a proud member of the I Did Not Make These Rankings podcast network. Other shows in the network include Mass Debaters, The Sip List, Crushgasm, Love is Black, Men Are the Prize, Crime Rewind, and Literature Reapers. You can find out all about our shows and more at idnmtrpodcastnetwork.com. Happy listening. You are now entering the world of a movie review. A world full of drama, joy, ridicule, movie spoilers, unpopular opinions, and adult humor for as far as the eye can see. Welcome to An Evening at the Movies.
Yay! We are actually live everywhere, not just on isolated ones this week. I am so happy with myself. I altered the settings for the Facebook so we can be live everywhere, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, but yay, I'm such a smart person. Well, no, realistically, Amanda helped me because I forget. But welcome back, everybody. This is everybody's favorite movie review podcast. This is Evening at the Movies, the podcast where we eat the stale popcorn, we drink the watered down sodas, and we discuss all of our favorite movies and why we love them. Welcome back, co-host.
Thanks. Excited to be here, getting back into podcasting. It's becoming more of a regular thing again, so that's getting kind of cool. And yeah, I'm still sitting here well, I'm not in my wheelchair now, but I'm still recovering from surgery, doing the physical therapy. It hurts. And yeah, other than that, I have nothing going on.
I feel like 7 years from now, you're still going to be. Remember that time that you and Chancey broke my freaking ankle with your gypsy curse?
Yes. It's all your fault. You know it.
I mean,
what's funny is that you're always the one bringing it up.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, you probably would have brought it up again anyway. So I'm ripping the damn Band-Aid off. Whatever. So we have a very special guest with us this week on An Evening at the Movies. She's been here before, and we've been from Jessica Kelly. We've done Crooklyn, and she is an amazing member of the I Did Not Make These Podcast Network. I'll let her go through all the other details herself, though. But welcome back to the show, Kendra. Welcome back, teammate.
Thank you for having me. Like Amanda, I'm getting back into podcasting as well. Once you take a little break, it is hard to get back into it and be busy. But I'm working on a new little mini series called Crushes That Raised Us. And by us, I do mean millennials because that's what I'm going to know the most about. So I'm starting with childhood and coincides wonderfully because I'll be talking about Disney movies and the delusion that it gives us and how Aladdin, we're going to draw a line to the toxicity that is Zach Morris and above and beyond. But yeah, I'm really excited to kick that off next week. But yes, so it's probably out by the time this is out. But yeah, Crushes That Raise Us. Should be interesting.
You know what's funny to me is it's like,
it'll be pretty close because
I don't know which one of us is delayed. Is it me or you? I can't tell.
It's Kasey.
Oh. You know how they say, like, you know, they gave us unrealistic expectations, and I totally agree with all that. But honestly, the most unrealistic expectation Disney gave me was that I could call forest animals and they would talk to me and help me clean my house and be my sidekick. Like, where's my flounder? You know, where's my Olaf? Or not Olaf. Wow. Yeah, Olaf.
Or like, Olaf is dead from global warming.
So yeah, I'm like, I just want the animals to talk to me.
Honestly, I wish. I always been like, come on to you. If you have pets, you're like, you could tell me if you could talk. Just
oh yeah.
I won't tell. I won't like call National Enquirer. I'll like keep it low key.
Right. It'll be between us.
Mhm. But yeah, and then I'm the host of Crushgasm, so you can go to crushgasmpodcast.com or kendrawritestuff.com where I have a lot of blogs. And I'm starting a new music site that'll hopefully kick off in September. That is it's going to be female focused. It is called the Vagina Sing-Alongs, and it will just female interviews, and we're not going to ask the question, what is it like to be a woman in music? Because that's a stupid question. I'm just going to talk to them like they are humans, like they are people, like they are musicians. And music reviews, album, be pretty cool. I'm excited.
Vagina Sing-Along should be a musical. Like the sequel to Vagina Monologues.
I was going to do a podcast, and I was like, a lot of work. Let me start with a site and see if it builds to that. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah.
That's very cool.
So that's it. That's it for me.
Broadway kind of sort of missed the bus on being a sequel to Vagina Monologues.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure they buy the rights.
As long as my vagina is not required to actually sing.
So.
No. No anatomy required.
Phew.
Oh Lord. Thank God for that. So, for those of you who don't know, we are Animation August. So we're going to be talking about all kinds of animated movies all month long. And first up, we have a modern day Disney classic. And we're going to be talking about the movie Tangled.
Woo-woo.
Yay.
I'm excited. I love this movie.
And really quick, we'll discuss that in a minute. For those of you who don't know, Tangled released on November 24th, 2010, was directed by Nathan Greeno, Byron Howard. It was released by Disney, obviously, had a $260 million budget and a box office of $192.5 million. Nice. It can be found on Disney Plus if you would like to watch it. And, well, I had already posted the Rotten Tomatoes score in our network group chat, so I'm not going to bother asking if you guys want to wager a guess as to what it is. But
I know.
Still, fuck Rotten Tomatoes. But the Rotten... Amanda, would you like to wager a guess as to what the Rotten Tomato score?
Well, I already know what it is. Wasn't it like 89%, 88%?
It's 88 or 89.
It is 89%, and the audience score is 2 points lower at 87%.
What? Okay, I didn't see the audience score is lower. This is, again, I'm not going to go on my Rotten Tomatoes rant. You already know. This should have 100% audience. Like,
for those of you who do not know, the I Did Not Make These Rankings podcast network has a Rotten Tomatoes motto, which is, ladies,
fuck Rotten Tomatoes, but it's the people and the critics. But
yeah,
it's not like a tomato is sitting there on a throne.
What if it was
smugly? I know, cool. Smug, like the attack of the Rotten Tomatoes, just sitting there typing.
Like, I don't want to be a bottle of ketchup, so I'm going to sit here and be a movie critic.
He talks like the critic, Sherman.
Interesting topic. Co-host, would you like to let the audience know what this movie is about in 90 seconds or less?
I would, and then I also have some fun facts if you guys are interested in that. But basically, if you don't know Tangled, it is a retelling of Rapunzel, who was a princess who's been locked away in a tower since she was kidnapped as a baby. She has magical long hair, and the woman who kidnapped her uses it to help keep herself young. When Rapunzel turns 18, she decides that she wants to go outside, and this random guy helps her. And yeah, I did not have a good plot summary for this. But basically, he helps her escape. They go on adventures, and shenanigans ensue.
It's not that complicated.
Speaking of saying, it's a retelling of Rapunzel, first fun fact, this was the first Disney movie that was not named for the story, like for a princess story. It was the first one not named for the story. So like it wasn't Rapunzel, they called it Tangled, which I thought was kind of cool. It was the first one to have a PG rating because of the mom stabbing Flynn.
No, I was like, Jesus, she like shanks that guy. Like they all have death, and I feel like there's been like scarier deaths, like Frollo and Hunchback of Notre Dame. I think Mufasa sticks out, but like and Gaston falling to his death. But this one, they just showed her straight up like thug life.
I know, it was so brutal.
And it's very nonchalant because she's like, yeah, we gotta go.
Yeah.
She has no fucks to give.
Disney princess movie to show a baby wearing a diaper. I don't know why that's important. I just thought it was interesting. What was the other one? Hold on, another one. First Disney princess movie to be computer animated. So yeah.
Yeah, I guess that would have been about that time when the computer animation was
number one issue. I have a lot of issues.
Take hold.
Are you serious?
I don't think this is a bad movie. I have issues with this movie on its impact on Disney moving forward. And I have my notes.
Okay, I think
when we get to it.
Rescued. Okay, yeah, it rescued the Disney princesses. Unfortunately, because Princess and the Frog got skipped over. So
yeah, that's my biggest issue. Is Disney was like, let's go back to tradition. Let's go back to 2D, and we're going to give you our first Black princess. She's a frog. 99% of the movie. Issue 1, and then the movie doesn't do as great as they thought. So they're like, all right, we're going to go with this newfangled animation, and we're going back to the blonde white girl savior of a princess, and we're going back to, I mean, they did go back. It's all, Disney has no original ideas, really. If you think about it, if you go through their list, they're all old fairy, almost all of them are old fairy tales that they just bring to life. So I'm like, creative. Also, the animation, I absolutely hate this style. It's become the Disney style of the big eyes and bobbleheads because she looks like Anna and Elsa. And if you swap her out, that's the chick. They're Coco. It's Encanto. It's just those big eyes. I feel like the old, like this is the birth of the second Renaissance. I will give Tangled that. Like but you look at Pocahontas, Belle, Mulan, Ariel, they all look different. They all have their own style. I feel like you put any kind of background shot of new Disney movies out there, and you're like, I don't know, they all look the same.
It's kind of like Disney. I think Pixar and DreamWorks and everybody else was doing it too.
That it got lazy. It's all around animation's lazy. I think Illumination does it with the Minions movies and what they have. It's just so lazy. It's supposed to be this like technological boom and innovation, but it just made it kind of heartless for me.
Okay, and but the lantern scene, could they have done that with drawing? Like,
I think it would have been beautiful. I think it would have been beautiful if they could capture the heart of Ray, the lightning bug. In Princess and the Frog, I think they could have done it. There's some beauty. I mean, the scene in Beauty and the Beast, the ballroom scene is the best Disney scene I've ever seen. Yeah. And they hand drew it, and just can't wait to be king. Things like that. You could do it. Just, you want to get them out faster. You want to get the money. So, computer's gonna do it. But I do give it its credit.
Unfortunately, Princess and the Frog did not get the acclaim that it should have gotten, and it wasn't, in my opinion, a great telling of a story. Like they could have had way more of her and less of the frog and just all that. But besides Princess and the Frog, for like 3 or 4 years, we were not getting any Disney princesses. We were getting,
No,
we were getting the Madagascar movies, Ice Age, Bolt and Cars and Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs and all these movies. So when we went to see Tangled, George and I took Abby, and we had been into the animated movies. I mean, of course, we had a little kid. She was, 6 when this movie came out, 6 or 7. And we weren't expecting it to be like the old school Disney musical. We thought it was going to be completely different. And so I felt for George, I was like, oh man, he's going to hate this. There's so many songs. But he actually really liked it. Like, this is a Disney movie that he'll watch, and he won't watch the other princess movies. So there's a lot to be said for it as far as humor. And I mean, I get what you're saying about the animation, but I guess that stuff doesn't really matter to me as long as it looks cool.
I mean, it looked cool for Tangled, but then it's like I watch Frozen and I'm like, well, that's the same girl, except now she's got lighter hair, or she's just got maybe some freckles. Like, you're just doing a bug eye with a bobblehead. But yeah, they did go back to, they learned, because you have the Disney Renaissance, then 2000 comes, you have, they call the set, like, after Walt Disney died, after the last thing he did was Jungle Book, and then it kind of, they call it the Bronze Age, which is so rude because Robin Hood, Rescuers, so good, Oliver and Company, but I think the darkest age was those 2000s. Like, Lilo and Stitch is up there, and I love Emperor's New Groove, but they weren't given like dinosaurs.
Right. Oh,
that Brother Bear movie. Come on, the one
don't
with
say
the
that
cows.
About dinosaurs. Shannon will hurt you.
That looked one of the worst toys I've ever seen. They were just realistic dinosaurs. Come on, make them. I want to, like, I shit on the bug eye like thing of the new Disney, but at least make them cute. Like,
yeah, everything was animals for a while, and then it was like, okay, now we're gonna go back to a traditional Disney princess kind of movie.
Yeah, and you mentioned the songs. That's what they did with Little Mermaid. They realized we have to go Broadway. We have to go big with the music, and that's what it's been since then. With Pixar kind of giving us the balance of, like, I think, more well-written movies. I'll get, like, Inside Out and WALL-E, to me, are like better scripts. But of course, if I'm a kid, I'm probably not going to understand those as much as I love and admire, like, a princess movie like Tangled. So I get it. I was watching it, like, yeah, if I was like a little kid when this came out, it would have been the shit. For sure.
Yeah. Abby loved it.
I interned at a record label, and his daughter was all about Rapunzel. All about.
Well, I feel like we got a new, like, I mean, he wasn't a prince, obviously, but, quote unquote Disney prince. Like, Flynn Rider could get it, but also he was flawed. He wasn't like this perfect prince, whatever. He's flawed. He's funny. He learns to become a good person and fall in love. Like, he
was 21st century Aladdin, the fuckboy.
Yeah,
trope all the way. And he's fine, but honey, he is no Prince Eric. Like, as far as attractiveness in Disney, I'm like, I get it, I see it, but I don't.
Personality.
Love it.
That's what I like. He's got a personality.
He is like one of the, other than Aladdin, because he was the star of his movie, but like, yeah, men in Disney don't get a lot of personality. Like, that's why I like the live action Little Mermaid, because it was like Prince Eric was finally more than a piece of hot ass. They gave him like actual, like, kind of an arc. I also don't like Rapunzel in the way that, like, she came out in that manic pixie girl dream trend where that started with 500 Days of Summer the year prior, and then you had Rapunzel in her, like, manic episode of, like, oh my god, I should stay, oh, I gotta go home, oh, I love it, that, and then you have New Girl, so she's kind of Zooey Deschanel coded. It's a cute scene, but it's very Zooey Deschanel manic pixie girl coded, and I think it went with the time.
She's like, I'm a horrible person. Best day ever.
I should go home.
I'm never going home. Sorry, Kasey. We just went off a long rant.
Oh, no. I was fully prepared for you guys to take over and run with this, because at the end of the day, I have only seen Tangled one time.
Can't believe it. Well, I can believe it. You don't have kids and you have nephews. I get it.
Like I said or will say in my review, I'm not necessarily a quote-unquote Disney princess kind of guy.
Right.
So a new Disney princess movie coming out is who I must run to the movie theater and go see it. I would much rather go see this one Wolverine again.
Yeah. I feel like it also got overshadowed by Frozen, even though I know Frozen was like 2 years later. It's just like,
Unfortunately, too, because story-wise, Tangled makes way more sense than Frozen. Frozen's the stupidest movie I've ever seen from Disney.
If I never have to hear Let It Go again, oh my God. For anybody watching or listening or whatever, that you had a child when Frozen came out, we need to start like a therapy group. Like, we need help, because I will sometimes still wake up just let it go, let it go. Like, stop it. Do you want to build a snowman? Oh my God, will you just fuck off?
I will give Frozen that, though. They had the more, like, none of the songs from this movie, Tangled, stick out like the Disney songs. Like, when I hear Let It Go, I'm like, I get that, like, a Disney song. It's like The Little Mermaid, Part of Your World, or Whole New World, where it's like this big grand thing. This one, score getting Mandy Moore for vocals. A+ for that, but she's not Adina, what is it, Adele Dazeem or whatever? Adele Dazeem. She doesn't have that range. And I think it's also, they just didn't write them as, like, I don't remember any of the songs. I think the one with the lanterns is, like, the one, but I don't know it.
I feel like I See the Light should have been a bigger song. Like, that song is gorgeous. It encompasses the whole movie. And I even messaged Kasey earlier, like, there are some movies that, just always, like, you cry at certain parts. That part in the boat, the lantern scene with that song, I cry every single time because it's just so beautiful. And I think Mandy Moore has a gorgeous voice, but this movie, I just like this movie didn't get the attention it deserved. And, all the little girls were playing with Rapunzel dolls. We had so much Rapunzel shit. But it just, I don't know, like, Frozen came out and it was like everybody forgot about everything.
Well, I think this walk so Frozen could pummel the world with its snowballs or whatever.
So Frozen could haunt our nightmares as parents.
Yeah. Like, it set the stage, and then Elsa burst in and she set that girl's hair on fire.
Hit me up if you want to be part of my Frozen recovery support group.
I think Harvey will. I think he also was traumatized by his children with that.
Oh, good times. Okay, I think Kasey had discussion questions for us.
I still have to deal with. Well, no, before I get to that, I was just going to say I still deal with it on a regular basis at work, because one of my clients literally, and he is going to giggle about the fact that this story is getting told, and he will listen on Wednesday when it releases. But he loves to go around the house, just let it go, let it go. Oh my God, let the damn song go.
I mean, it's a great song. I feel like if Frozen hadn't been so shoved down our throats, that I would like it more. The movie's just fine, but the music is really good. Like, you do have to give it a due for that.
It was like we hadn't had something that big from Disney in a while, so maybe it was just overwhelming. I feel like if Frozen had come out in 98, we would have been like, fuck yeah, that's the song. Because we were like, we expected it. But Disney, again, had been in a lull.
Yeah.
Brother Bear was not giving us it.
If you guys haven't seen it, you guys are, whoever's listening, there is a video. You can go look it up on YouTube, but I think it's called, like, If Frozen Was a Horror Movie. And somebody, like, made a trailer where it made Frozen look like a horror movie, and it is hilarious. It's really, really funny. They did it with Home Alone.
I am intrigued now.
Oh, I've seen the Home Alone and the Mrs. Doubtfire ones.
Oh, I've seen the Mrs. Doubtfire one too, yeah.
He's looking out the window.
The Frozen one is pretty funny.
I have to look that one up.
I do have a Frozen Christmas ornament. I will say. Oh, sorry. I'm done after this, Kasey. After Frozen came out, and we, Abby's all excited, whatever, I have found an ornament on Etsy, and it's like a glass ornament, and it has, like, the fake snow in the bottom. And the writing on it says, "Some people are worth melting for." And I was like, again, that quote is just, it's so beautiful. Like, I hate that movie, but also it's one of my favorite ornaments.
I like what I love.
preceding announcement was endorsed by Nicole Hoffer 100% direct all hate mail at her, not me.
You didn't have a child when Frozen came out. You cannot understand. Just, I promise you,
I had a
anybody
goddaughter.
when this movie came out will understand. Let's get Harvey on the phone. It was just overkill. I mean, basically, yeah.
Harvey will be here in a couple weeks when we kick off Stephen King birthday bonanza. But that portion of the show is coming soon isn't until later. So, question number one. Which characters do you guys find to be the most relatable in the movie?
The lizard. The lizard's like he's ready to like hit people, like he's like over it. I'm like, yeah, is it Pascal?
Pascal, yeah.
Pascal. He's the best character. I mean, if anything, you know the sidekick's gonna get you in a Disney movie if he does. I also like Maximus the horse.
I love Maximus.
I like the switch up, you know, from the enemy to the frenemy to the friend. So
yeah. I feel like all this time we've just been misunderstanding each other.
Like those ones. I also like Mother Gothel. I think she's a good villain.
A great villain.
I love a good villain. Obviously I'm a Homelander girly from The Boys, so I love a good villain, Mother Gothel. And I like that this movie is really just because she's a vain biatch. Like that's why.
She is awful. Mother Knows Best is a great villain song. I do love that song.
But yeah, the Pascal. I like when he's like.
Literally, I wrote three names. I wrote three names down in my notes, and it literally was Max, Pascal, and then the old, as they call it on IMDb, the short thug, the old little freaking mini smartass from the, I guess it'd be saloon, pub.
The old guy who's like the little old man,
who's or the piano guy.
Yeah.
I gotta do.
I have to like the old guys because it's a me and Harvey thing.
Oh. I wouldn't say, like, as far as being relatable, not that I relate to this person, but I actually feel like Flynn Rider is a very relatable character. Oh. Kasey, your internet blows today.
Say that again. I had circles of death.
Yeah, your internet sucks today. No, I was just going to say, for me, I think Flynn is, yeah, Pascal, love him. I love when he turns red when they're about to kiss. So cute. But I don't know. I like Flynn Rider as a character a lot. Like, again, we know he's not a prince, but technically that's his, he's going to be the prince in the movie, but he's flawed and he's funny and, he's like Aladdin. Like, he's just trying to get by. Like, he's trying to swindle whoever he has to. And then, he meets the right girl and falls in love. And I like when the princes aren't put up on such a high pedestal, or the guys in the movies, whatever. Like,
Also, really like that they stress hardcore that she is turning 18 at the beginning of the film so that he's not a creeper like every other princess movie where they're like, she's 14, she's 16, I was like noticing, I was like, they really keep mentioning she is of age.
Yeah.
Even though it was like a time when you could get married away at like as a child, for modern times.
Because he's probably, what, 25? 23?
He was significantly older.
Yeah.
He's been around.
He's probably definitely a well-seasoned adult. But I digress. Go ahead.
Oh, I wanted to ask one of my questions now because it's a good segue into it since we were just talking about it. If you had to choose one as your sidekick, would you choose Pascal or Maximus?
Pascal. He's got more personality, even though Max could get you places. I would want a little.
And he
friend.
didn't take anybody's shit.
Yeah. Like he would have cut someone too if
Yeah.
he had to. Well, the Max was
Hey,
he was
Max-
fighting with a sword.
Max is a stubborn ass, and as you know, co-host, I can be a stubborn ass at times. So I feel like he and I would fit better together as a team. Scissoring.
No,
Oh,
not how that works.
ew. Did you
I
see the
think for-
pieces on them?
Well, the Flynn Rider doll had the smooth parts, just like Ken. So it's all. I think I would probably choose Pascal, like as far as a sidekick pet. But if like I was ready to cut a bitch, it'd be Max all the way.
He was fighting.
Yeah, because I mean, literally most of the freaking movie, he's all, I'm not dealing with your crap. It's all about me. Screw you.
Yeah, he didn't take any shit from anybody.
No, especially Flynn.
Eugene.
So
Oh, a horrible name.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna stick with Flynn.
Yeah, I would too. Flynn Rider, that's catchy.
That's the name.
So, if you got any more questions, co-host, go ahead, because literally, like, the only thing I have left is the cookie cutter, traditional. What do you like? What do you not like? And we've kind of, sort of, gone down that road already.
Okay. The only other one that I had like a little thought-provoking thing is if a power existed like what Rapunzel has, would you use it?
Oh, like her birth. Yeah, I mean, I think for healing. I don't know how to stay young. Thankfully, my dad blessed me with melanin, so I don't need that. But to heal, yeah, I mean, save on those doctor visits. I'd be like, oh, touch the hair. Oh, sing a song. Like, but for everything else, I think I don't have gray hair yet. I want it. I think it's beautiful. I think to gray is gorgeous. It shows that you've lived, that you've experienced life. So I wouldn't mind it. Wrinkles, you've lived a life. But I do not like to be hurt.
That's
So
fair.
I would probably be more adventurous.
Don't worry, I got magic hair.
No, I'd be more adventurous if I knew I could just like heal.
Yeah, me too. That'd
Be like,
be like
oh.
Groundhog Day. We're like stepping in front of trains and driving off cliffs.
I don't know if it'd heal you that well.
No, probably not. Probably not.
You're just like, come here with that hair in pieces. It's like Deadpool's kind of regenerative. But yeah, I would use it for sure.
I would too, but not at the. I wouldn't use it to stay young either. I might use it if this was an option. I would use it as like a good dermatologist. Like I would use it to keep my skin beautiful and flawless, but
Like-
still aging. That makes
So like
sense.
zits, blemishes, yes.
Blemishes and sagging and just this thing that I have going, which I hate so much. Like
And to heal her ankle.
yeah. Yeah, if I could have healing powers, ugh.
Like, will it take care of like I guess it's not a plastic surgeon. I was like, there's some parts I would tuck and nip here and there, but
Yeah.
the underarms, that my biggest thing.
Yeah, but I wouldn't do it at anyone's expense. So, obviously I wouldn't hold somebody captive to have healing powers.
In a tower did she find the tower or did she create the tower to hold her in? I was like, was she lucky enough to have stumbled upon this?
Just a random tower in the woods.
It's pretty decked out. It's nice.
That's a good point.
I was like, because she does like hold up the entrance when she can't, at the end when Rapunzel doesn't let down her hair, she takes all the rocks out.
Yeah.
But I'm like, was it already there? Also, the beginning where she steals Rapunzel and like the parents don't wake up till like Rapunzel cries. I'm like, but you didn't hear her singing that song to like make your baby like, guys.
What the hell were you doing that caused you to not hear the song?
Deep
Trying to
sleep,
make that next baby.
REM sleep, and then got out of it once she cried. But yeah,
It was a little metaphorical headboard rattling.
Kasey, what would you do with that power?
I would probably go with the whole healing, just for the pure fact that I literally have to look at this every day for the rest of my life, and it's not fun. It's not a fun reminder of that time a year when I spent 2 weeks in the hospital, but we won't go back down that road.
Yeah.
Or if it could like get rid of bad tattoos, would be great too.
Amanda is. So, I mean,
where do you rank her on your? Yeah, where would you rank Rapunzel in the Disney princess world?
I mean, this version of Rapunzel. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Kasey.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I probably, for me, would put her somewhere in that 5, maybe 6. I don't think she's a horrible princess. I can just think of a few that I would classify as better princesses, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I put her in my top 5. I don't know. This version of Rapunzel, not like the original Rapunzel movie, but this version of her, I don't know. I like the character. I like how it was written. And again, it's like ushering in a new era of Disney where, characters are being written more clever and snarky and funny. I mean, you got that from like the villains, but then now you're kind of like getting it, like
from the main.
Yeah. Like a frying pan. Who knew? So Tangled's one of my favorites, and it could just be because, like I said, it brought back the Disney princess thing, even though Princess and the Frog should have, but we know. And because I had a kid, so it was something we watched a lot and just something we bonded over. But I mean, I like her. She's up there with Ariel and Belle and, maybe Snow White. I don't know.
I would say about 5 or 6 too, because I actually don't like the OG princesses like Cinderella, Aurora, Snow White. I don't like those movies at all. They're very boring to me. And I did until Ariel came in. I was like, animal movies or bust. So I definitely put like the 90s ones in there, except for Pocahontas because she probably was a problematic movie. But
yeah,
great soundtrack though.
Oh man, Colors of the Wind. Oh God, that's a good song.
Me and my friend, I tell the story. We got drunk one night off wine, and we were like, "We're gonna put all our money in, and we're gonna make Pocahontas the stage play, and we're gonna put all our money into getting Christian Bale to come and reprise his role as Thomas, but we weren't gonna pay anything else. And we're just like, we have to get a real raccoon because we don't have any more money and can't have a person. We have a real raccoon we're gonna train. It was like we're like, we gotta get Christian Bale though. That was our money. That was our big thing we were gonna do." Like the songs, and then we were like, instead we can't get the rights to Disney, maybe we'll just use those pure mood songs that kind of sound like that. Oh
yeah. Use the Kids Bop version.
Yeah, Kids Bop was at it kicked off our state fair last week. Kids Bop Lives. Yeah, we went, and not to the Kids Bop, but I went for the baking competition, and all these kids, and there were Swifties. It's a Swifties Kids Bop version. So I don't know what their shirts meant, but the whole family had them. So I was like, do you only listen to Taylor Swift like Kids Bops edition? Or it was very confusing. And I didn't want to engage with them because they seem weird.
Yeah. Well, I will say from especially folklore on, you got to listen to the Kids Bop versions unless you're okay with your kid hearing cuss words. Like, the swearing gets legit, starting with folklore and moving forward, which I'm here for it, but I understand, Your story reminded me of a story. So we're speaking of getting drunk and Disney stuff. Me and my friends, we're I can't remember what we went for, but we were at the Dallas Museum of Art, and we, had drank a lot of wine. We had dinner, then we went to this exhibit or whatever, and we got in the elevator, and the elevator music was Part of Your World. So me and my two girlfriends just start singing it at the top of our lungs, along with the elevator music, and I'm sure we sounded awful. And the elevator opens, and this old man gets on, and he's like, what did I just interrupt? And then we kept singing it.
I wish he knew it. Joined.
Yeah, right?
Like, come on, guys.
Or you could start singing Under the Sea. We could start a new song.
Was he an old Jamaican man?
Yeah. No.
I was like,
it would have been fun.
Sebastian, my favorite Disney vocalist.
Yeah.
Under the Sea is just, it's wild. It's just random. Oh, kiss the girl.
It's better down where it's wetter.
I know. They let that. I was like,
who approved that?
So, would Sebastian be your all-time favorite Disney character, Kendra?
No, he's my favorite vocalist.
Oh. Who would be your all-time favorite Disney character?
Ooh.
How do you pick?
I know, it's because you have to break them down, or you don't know. Because you have your favorite princess, but then you have your favorite sidekicks, you have your favorite, then there's Pixar. So I'd have to have a top 3. Because Bambi, even as a child, I loved Bambi. I thought I was a child being the score is great. The score of this movie, I thought the animation was beautiful, and I have a lot of Bambi stuffed animals.
It was totally traumatic.
I mean, they get over that in the beginning. I was like, it's okay. Small got shot. He's a survivor. He's a survivor. And I just love woodland creatures are my favorite, but Ariel's probably my favorite princess. I love Robin Hood. And then Mike Wazowski is my favorite Pixar from that era, because he's a loser that always just does him. He does him, and he makes it. I like that.
But he also has a girl that's crazy about him.
Yeah, he just being him. He's a short king. But it's the girl. I love him. But yeah, I don't think you could pick just a singular character. I think there's tiers. Like Mindy Kaling says, for best friends, there's a tier. The tier system.
Do you have any ideas about what would be in your tiers, co-host?
I mean, honestly, Rapunzel's one of my favorite princesses. And then probably Belle. I love Ariel, but it's one of those things where it's when you watch that as an adult, you're like, her dad wasn't the bad guy. Her dad was 100% correct.
But Belle too, I did Life Spin a Song, and we broke it. It's all about musicals. So I did Beauty and the Beast, the original, not that horrible remake with the Hermione. But we talked
it.
God off. The dress was just I've seen cosplayers do it better, and they don't have Disney budgets. Come on. I was
fair.
Did they get that from the indoor swap meet? That should have been the show-stopping scene. It was just so. That's the first movie I ever saw in theaters, so I was very excited to see what they did, and I was I fell asleep until the end where they get violent, where Gaston they're gonna go kill them. I was like, all right, now it's getting good because the violence is starting.
Somebody finally died.
Yeah, I was yeah, but I felt it was not. Emma not having I think they're in France, and she has her English accent. Was kind of but yeah, that was not. I think I've only liked Jungle Book and The Little Mermaid for live action.
So you're going to get mad at me because another one that would be one of my favorites is the live action Jasmine. I loved the live action Aladdin. I saw it twice in the theater. I really, really liked it. And I loved Jasmine. I loved that she was such the original Jasmine is a strong character too, but this one was she was a bad bitch, and I loved it. And I loved the original song that they wrote, which I know a lot of people were like, this isn't from the original movie. That's fine. I don't care. It was a great song.
Yeah, at least they added something. That's why I like Little Mermaid giving Eric a song, even though it was the least of the songs, but at least he got something.
But also, why was live action Jafar so hot?
I don't even know what he looked like. I
Oh, he
couldn't,
was sexy.
I tried to watch it on a plane and I was like, if this goes down, this can't be the last thing I watch.
Oh my God.
I turned it off. I don't remember what flight it was. I either put on Little Giants or some Diane Keaton movie called Palms, where she's like goes into a retirement village and like starts a cheerleading squad. I fuck so hard with Diane Keaton. I love her. This movie was probably only on like Amazon Prime. I've never seen this in theater. It was literally probably only on like United Airlines flights. But it's good. Check it out. And book club. Bring me back for book club.
Oh yeah, yeah. Kasey, what about you? Oh, we can't hear you, buddy. Your thing did the thing again.
Now it's muted.
Oh, and Flounder. I love Flounder. Sorry. Okay.
I love that whole. This is not going to be the last movie I see if we fucking go down.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was like,
That's gonna be a soundbite or something. You're so
I seriously, I have to figure out how to edit video so that we can do that and make little clips. Because
I don't know how to edit video. I mean,
I don't either. But
I
I
could.
need.
You could just. So this is what I do. I don't know if we should be telling everybody or whatever, but I will, like, when I used to make the videos with the little just segments, I would just screen record it. Like, I would pull up the YouTube video or the StreamYard video, screen record the part I want, and then edit it, crop it and all that, and then just use that. So you could do that and just add that as a video to the beginning of this.
It's not a bad idea. See, not just a hat rack.
Not just a hat rack, my friend.
So, my personal favorite Disney character, my off the wall favorite Disney character probably would be Rafiki from The Lion King.
It is time. Did you guys try to draw with your thumb? I think everybody did when I saw that. I looked
Yeah. I mean, what's not to love about Kung Fu Monkey that whips a big ass lion's ass because he's being a dumbass and blaming himself for killing his dad when it wasn't even his freaking fault.
Still could have stayed around and told somebody. Ran away from his problems. A man.
Of course.
What about Love Lion King?
Kasey, what about Genie?
Oh yeah, Genie's kind of like the all-star.
Well, no, Genie's up there as well. I mean, well, animated Genie is up there as well.
Yeah.
Robin Williams was freaking hilarious in that role. I don't care. And the fact that, I mean, obviously he took off the sequel, but came back for Aladdin King of Thieves.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of the subsequent Lion Kings.
Aladdin's.
Aladdin.
Or Aladdin. Sorry. Yeah, you know what I meant.
Because they were always like animated, like less than. And you're like,
well, it's like when you do the made-for-TV, like the Madagascar Christmas, and which I watch. I love those. I think they're cute, but you're not getting the same level of.
The Lemurs or King Julian is like the funniest thing.
King Julian is one of my favorites. Oh my God, I love him. I know that's not Disney, but loved. And then the penguin, the head penguin, whatever it is. Ned is not going to say this on American soil, but the Ruski is right. Sorry, Kasey.
Oh no! You're fine. Yeah, and Aladdin King of Thieves was straight to video when it came out. It didn't even hit the theater, so. But it's not necessarily a horrible movie. But like you guys, it just didn't get the push that theater movies are going to get from the mouse. So it suffered in that way, but it's still Robin Williams is one of my all-time favorite actors. So you can't go wrong with him at all.
And he was such an unhinged comedian that role was so perfect for him because it just allowed him to be unhinged. Like, when he did interviews and stuff, it was kind of like Jim Carrey too. Like, you have to try to rein them in, and they have to try to rein themselves in. And Jeannie, it was just like he got to be full on as Robin Williams.
No, and you could say the same thing about Jim Carrey in The Mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the animated world and be able to be unhinged like Robin was, but still, he could go full on Jim Carrey and
yeah,
it just worked. So, but yeah, Genie, Aladdin are probably, or Genie and Rafiki are probably my top two favorite Disney characters of all time.
I'm with Kendra. This requires some serious thought and categories. Like,
because also I love the Anxiety is a new one that I'm just obsessed with from Inside Out 2. Still my number one movie of the year, but
I haven't seen it yet.
It is so good. Oh, when things like, I love her. Maya Hawke is just, that's the role.
I
That's
love her too. Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, I was kind of waiting for you guys to, Kasey, what is your opinion? And then I was going to throw in Deadpool.
Yeah.
That's not making my top 10. It was fine.
Are you serious?
I think it's good. It's good, but I've seen a lot of movies so far this year, and it's just it was good, but it was like how many? Ryan Deadpool over explains a little too much. I get that he's the work with the mouth, but it's like sometimes reel it back in. I don't need the whole plot. I loved Hugh Jackman in it. Of course, seeing the suit. I mean, I watched the animated series. I was excited to see the suit.
Yeah.
But the whole thing with Marvel and all the timelines is kind of like I'm just like, bitch, let's like stay in, or let's like, I want things to matter. And it's like, and it's also very confusing. You really have to be like, wait, they're like, anything with the TVA, I love Loki. I have no idea what's going on in Loki half the time because they do the TVA stuff. I'm like, what? But I did like it. It's fun. I wish there were more X-Men though. I was hoping for more X-Men. I was sad there was no. I wanted kind of like alternate Storm and like a different road. I was hoping we'd see kind of that, and like just people maybe like who have wanted to play those roles, just kind of in that wasteland area.
Like I know Jennifer Lawrence. Like I understand Halle Berry, but they could have got Jennifer Lawrence, whatever that character's name is.
Mystique, yeah. I feel like, or I know Keke Palmer has been like really wanting to be Rogue, so it would have been kind of cool to see her as like an alternate Rogue or something like that. Just people.
But do you know how much money they probably had to spend just to get Wesley Snipes? And then all,
and he was not great. He's like, "What you doing there?"
Yeah, he literally.
It was a big deal.
I was like. Unfortunately, I did see it, I think, Saturday, so the Comic-Con panel kind of spoiled it for me, but I was like, still like, oh, okay, but my heart is Channing Tatum, so that won me over. I was like, yes.
All right, well, let's not spoil Deadpool for everybody, but yeah, it was okay. Well, I mean, for me, it's in my top 10 of what I've seen so far, and it's my favorite Deadpool movie by far. So.
It'll be I never remember what happens in the first one. I always go, every time I think of something, I'm like, oh, my husband's like, that's number 2. I'm like, I don't even know what happened in the first one.
Yeah. I mean, the whole scene with Like a Prayer, my God, Hugh Jackman, what did you do? Like, I
was not expecting him shirtless. I was like, oh
my. Oh my.
God.
You cold shower.
Why did they get divorced? She sees that, she's gonna be like texting him. You what? I would.
I know. And the fact that they made a joke about that in the movie.
I was like, I would be like, no, you can't say that about my divorce.
But that's the kind of friends.
Yeah. I was like, I was shocked for him. Like the audience could be.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God.
Damn, Gina.
But yes, it was good. But I mean, have you seen Thelma?
What's Thelma?
Oh,
Oh.
Thelma is, it has June Squibb, who played Sheldon's Meemaw in Big Bang Theory. She's also from that movie Nebraska that was really big in Oscar-y. It was black and white. So she's like 90-some years old. It's an action movie as if an old person was the star. So it moves at her pace because she gets scammed out of money. And so she's like, oh, screw that. I'm going to go get my money. And so it's how an old person would go about that. And my favorite is like, she does what like all old people do where they're like, do I know her? So that the action will stop and she'll be like, I'm going to go, are you from, do I know you from Betty? That's so, oh my God, it's the funniest shit. And she goes through her phone and she's like calling everyone. She's like, oh my God, I can't believe they died. Seriously. So that, if Inside Out 2 had not come out this year, it would be my number one. So okay. I was crying. And
I'm adding Twisters. It to my watch list right now.
Check out Twisters too.
I do want to. Twister is it's a hometown movie for me, and I know people that were extras in it, and just so that anything like that always kind of contributes to you liking a movie, and especially if you've grown up in that kind of, you grew up around tornadoes. It's like, are there parts of it that are super unrealistic? Sure, but also it's just a lot of fun. And to see, your local meteorologist in the movie. Like, I know that Emily Sutton was in the new one, and I loved her before we moved down here. She was like she is amazing because she's so, like, she'll stand up for herself. Like, she's a good meteorologist, but, like, outside of that, she's very, like on Twitter and, like, different stuff. She's not, like, mean, but she's assertive. Like, if you say something that's not right, she's going to be like, meh, meh, meh. I love her. Anyway.
I like that. Like, they got local news.
Yeah. And then Gary England, rest in peace, was in the original. He was such an epic meteorologist in Oklahoma City, like 40-something years, I think. So epic that there is a drinking game named after him that we would play during tornadoes. And we still play it now, even though, it's probably now should be like the Mike Morgan drinking game, if you know, you know. But yeah, the Gary England drinking game is a whole thing, and it made tornado season fun, drink every time you say hook echo, or, and anyway. Tangent.
Well, I mean, we go down rabbit holes all the time on an evening at the movies, so it's all good. But unless there's something anybody else wants to make sure that we address, this was definitely a whole lot of fun, especially having Kendra back on the show.
Yay!
We need to have Kendra back more often. Kendra brings the entertainment.
Tell me, book club, double dose, chapter 2, whatever it's called. I love me some old lady movies. There's a good one coming out with Kathy Bates.
Oh, really?
I think probably Diane Keaton because she's in all of them. It's called Summer Camp. It's like a reunion. They're going back to camp, but I have no idea why people have summer camp reunions. But yeah, it looks really good.
I loved 80 for Brady. I like those movies too. It's so cute.
My husband was like diagnosed around the time of the game that they initially watched, or the one at the end. So I was like, the sobbing was insane. If people looked at both of us, we were dying. I was like booger crying. It was so, I love that movie too. And I just love Jane Fonda.
Oh yeah. Yeah. 9 to 5 is still one of my favorite movies ever. The epic woman power in that movie is just ridiculous. And then you get, Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda together again, and it's just like,
They are goals.
Yes.
Hashtag that will probably be coming soon on an evening at the movies as Amanda has her way.
So if you do like an AARP month, I'm here. Yes. I love Las Vegas.
That's that's a great idea. And the bucket list, I love the bucket list.
I only saw the end of it. My mom was watching it, but I was like, seems up my alley. It's about older people.
So we need to plan AARP month around Kendra's next break from work, and then make sure that our other AARP buddy, can join us as well because you can't do anything old without having Harvey on the show.
Fair. Fair.
So, but definitely, there's an awful lot of freaking AARP movies out
Oh, I
there.
know.
Red.
There is.
Red is a really good one.
I feed it to KendraWrightStuff.com. Yes, I did. I did a whole list on them.
Nice.
Oh, really?
Red is one of my favorites, actually. I love that one.
I didn't put that one on there.
Oh.
I could have replaced one of the grumpy old men with it because I was like, God, they're all like, they either have Diane Keaton or like Walter Matthau.
Yes. And then what is it? Is it the Best Exotic Marigold?
Oh, I didn't put that one either.
Oh, I love. I always
See,
fuck
there's
that
more.
film up, but yeah, I love that movie. Good idea, Kendra.
So yeah, absolutely awesome idea. Obviously we can't wrap up the show without saying thank you to. I'm gonna at this point have to upgrade the dozens and turn them into the hundreds because you guys are showing up in droves the last 5 or 6 weeks with our viewership numbers right now. I mean, we're hitting triple digits each and every week, and for a podcast that was squeaking by throughout the last 3 years, I appreciate it, and I know Amanda does as well. So thank you guys for all the support and being here and watching each and every week. You guys are incredibly amazing. Kendra, would you like to let the audience know where they can find you and or anything you've got coming up on your 17 podcasts?
Yes, crushgasmpodcast.com. Check it out for Crushes That Raised Us, starting with Disney and Delusion, as well as going into the orange couch of it all on Nickelodeon and discussing Doug and Helga from Hey Arnold. And then KendraWrightStuff.com. Like I said, if you want a list of old people movies, I write for YardBarker.com, and that's where you can find a link to that. I'm working on a really fun list right now of the most memorable Modern Family guest stars, which, Jesus, I had to whittle it down because I didn't want to write like 50 blurbs, so I tried to get it down to 23. It's hard
There's
to
so
make
many
it.
good ones.
And some of them I was like, they were on that? And I'm like, oh. But as soon as you see the picture, you're like instantly like, oh, I remember the scene. Yeah. You're like, oh. And then Food Show Fanatics. We're doing the Great Food Truck Race right now.
Oh, so you're watching it now? Okay, we have to talk about it.
Yeah, we're watching Food Truck Race. Who do I want to win? I'm not loving any of them right now. It's just fine. I love how Tyler Florence talks like this.
It was a little bit more intense last year.
Yeah, last season. Well, this coming week, there is some. They said somebody's cheating, so I'm very excited about that.
Ooh. I thought the whole somebody leaving their milk out during the I was like, oh, was that on purpose? Like sabotage?
And I mean, last week they were like, you can't make mac and cheese, and then their empanada truck's like, that's our ancient family recipe. I was like, for mac and cheese, ancient? Shut up. And then Fishnet's like, you can't make lemonade. Honey, you don't own lemonade.
Yeah,
lemonade is not a recipe you've come up with. Yeah. But yeah, and then look up for the vagina sing-alongs in September. But yeah, thank you, and thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Yay! Definitely 100% follow all the stuff that Kendra does. It's amazing, and I highly recommend it. And I've even been on Crushgasm a couple of times, so definitely go check that stuff out. Co-host, do you have anything that you would like to let the listeners know about?
I actually do this time. I know we're still planning for Literature Reapers to come back, and honestly, we got to talk about that because it's been like 5 months since I read that book. I either have to read it again or we have to pick a new book.
I had literally read that book 3 times in the
last 6 months.
Are you serious? Waiting for the Literature Reapers.
Okay, fine. I'll read it one more time. But yeah, we're going to lock that down soon. But the SIP list is going to be back. We've been on a break for a while. And for now, I'm going to be doing bi-weekly episodes. And we'll kind of see how it goes. Just life shit's been happening. And you get bogged down, but
Broken
I
ankles.
am excited. Huh?
Broken ankles.
Yeah, that and other stuff. So, but yes, we will be coming back with Kasey and Harvey, and Harvey suggested top 5 TV couple relationship friendships that never became romantic. So for me, what I will be doing is picking either, same sex friends that could be in a relationship or like anything that could be romantic but doesn't ever become that. That's how I'm going to do mine. So, got some good ideas for that. And then I am also looking at doing top 5 Olympic movies or Olympic or movies with Olympic sports because I realize there's not like a giant well of movies that are just about being at the Olympics. There's a
Feel the
lot,
rhythm.
so. Oh, and then yes, so the SIP list is back. Not when is this episode dropping? Tomorrow or next week? When is this?
August 7th.
Okay,
So Wednesday.
So we will be actually recording on the 8th, so then probably the following Wednesday or Thursday. So after you hear this, you should wait about a week and then you can have the SIP list back. Another thing I did want to mention real quick is that, obviously we are in an election year and things are getting kind of crazy and all that. And, we here at An Evening at the Movies are not going to tell you how you should vote. That's your own personal choice. But
there's a right way.
What?
There's a right person
Well,
and there's the wrong person, but we won't tell you.
But I'm not gonna, if you were listening to the SIP list right now, I would go off on a whole thing and tell you who I'm voting for and why you should too. But the only thing I did want to say is that if you want to see Kamala Harris win, hopefully become the nominee and win, there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of Zoom meetings and calls to action and whatever, but this is just a small thing, but I am making friendship bracelets and selling them. And so far I have sold about $350 worth. Once I take my cost out of that, I will be donating what's left to the Harris campaign. So if you are interested and you want a friendship bracelet, it is on Etsy. It's Creative with a K, Creative K Designs is the Etsy shop. So yeah, if you're interested and you want to help contribute and you want some friendship bracelets, please check it out. And doing what I can do. It's not much, but hopefully it'll be something. So yay!
And spoiler alert, I will have Amanda send me the information, and I will put all of the contact information stuff for that in the show notes and in the postings on the social medias as well, so that if you are interested, you can definitely be steered that direction. So
it's been like a bracelet sweatshop over here the past 2 weeks. Not complaining, but I've been busy.
because at the end of the day, as well, I mean, you don't necessarily have to get Kamala Harris bracelets from her. You also can get a wealth of other amazing friendship bracelets as well. That,
if I wasn't sweating, I would reach for mine.
Making bracelets is my new therapy, and being a part of the Swiftie community has been really just fun. But I've started making them for everything. I've made them for sports. I made them for Halloween and gave them out to trick or treaters. I've making them. It's just for me, it's fun. It's good use of my creative outlet, whatever. And especially now when I can't walk, it's like, hey, something to do. When I have my hand surgery, that's going to hurt because I won't be able to.
No.
Yeah.
Gotta go fast.
I need to get all of my friendship bracelet addiction out of the way then before you have your hand surgery.
Yeah, I don't know when that's happening, so stay tuned.
So, I'm not going to go down the whole list of everything we've got coming up on An Evening at the Movies, but
animation. Flipping me off. It was my.
Yeah. Everybody, definitely Amanda is the one to
Blame.
No, I was going to say thank.
Blame for kids' movies? No, just kidding.
I mean, at the end of the day, we really haven't
Not just
done.
for kids.
I agree.
We're over 3.5 years into this podcast, and I could probably count on one hand how many times we've focused on. I mean, we've done The Lion King, we've done maybe one or two others that I can think of.
Yeah, we really haven't done very many kids' movies. That's a good point.
So
We're gonna do Inside Out too.
I can see it.
It will wreck you.
Well, the first one wrecked me. So
Oh,
I'm ready.
it wrecks you in a whole new way.
Okay.
That one wrecked you because it was like a good story, and you're like, oh, bing bong. This one takes you back to being 13 and trying to be cool, and you're like, oh god, that's exactly what it was like.
Yeah.
Just that, and still like in your head if you have anxiety.
Oof. Maybe
So-
we'll have to do it later, but yeah, we've picked some good movies for this month. So
Oh yeah. So obviously August is animation August, and next week we've got Lego Batman coming up, Megamind, and Paranorman, and then everybody who's been here throughout the history of the show knows what is coming up after animation August is over. So I'm not going to go down the list of everything that
excuse me.
goes with that, but Stephen King Birthday Bonanza in September and Halloween Horror Fest in October. So lots of good stuff coming up over the next couple of months. So definitely stay tuned for all of that. And the guys at work will probably be chipping in their ideas for requests for movies that they want as well. So
We need to find someone to join us for Lego Batman. I cannot wait to do Lego Batman.
well, I mean, next week.
I know. I love that movie. Lego Batman's one of my top 5 Batmans.
I remember that episode that we did on the SIP list.
We did a SIP list of top 5 Batmans. It was a really good one. Go check it out if you're interested.
So this was absolutely a lot of fun. I enjoy having Kendra back. I enjoy podcasting with my co-host. I look forward to a lot more shenanigans the rest of the month as well. So with all of that said, again, thank you, Kendra, for being here.
You're welcome.
Yay, Kendra.
Thank you.
Go back to work or back to school. Work. Cool.
I believe the 19th. But pre-K won't have kids until after Labor Day, so we just go back to like set up the room. So every other kid will be there except ours. But pre-K is like you meet the parents and the families because it is like they're a little younger than kindergarten. It's their first time in school, so we'll get to do all that and set up.
Nice.
Get to know our new 20. And then I'm excited to see our kids that are going to come back for kindergarten. So I am excited to see some. A lot of them, I think about half of them are going to be returning, and I'm excited to see them because they already sometimes like after like Thanksgiving break they come back and they look a little older, and you're like, oh, in just a week, so a whole summer. I'm excited. And some of them are now big brothers. Their moms were pregnant, so we'll get to hear about that. But yeah. But thank you for having me.
They go away for the whole summer and they come back with full-on goatees and
that would be really weird.
Yeah.
pierced eyebrows and shit.
Like, oh, so, you're fine.
So the floor is yours, co-host. Take us home.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, listening, watching, all the things. And we hope you all come back for an evening at the movies. Goodbye.
Peace on hair grease.